It's Monday morning. It's been a yucky weekend. Like it rained all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Looks like it's gonna rain all day today, but it's the beginning of the week, which is a fun, and there's an interesting way to look at this. You can either look at it as I'm a long way from the weekend, or you can look at it as I am at the starting line. Lots of great things can happen this week. It's all up to how I approach the race, how intentional I am, how focused I am, how hard I work, and that's generally how I try to approach Mondays. It's going to be a long week, but it's going to be a good one. It's a beautiful day to be out on the road. I'm leaving it's actually my only appointment today. I got some phone calls later, but met with guys at Good News Pest Solutions. Great clients, love to hang out with these guys. And Dean Burnside, who's the owner of Good News, he had a different take on Friday's video where I talked about working the last 2 hours of Friday, and I told him that I would share it in this video today. Dean's philosophy is a little bit different. He believes that if you don't take Friday afternoon off, the people around you who want to be business owners one day, who aspire to the business owner lifestyle, they will have nothing to aspire to. So Dean, it's part of his mission to take Friday afternoons off so that he can inspire others, which is an interesting take. I can see his point, and if it came from anybody else, I would question it, but because it comes from Dean Burnside, I think it's valid. So it's basically the same miserable weather, different day. I didn't finish yesterday's video. When I left Dean's place, there was something that we talked about, and then it also came up later in the day with another client. So it was a good topic. I just never got around to recording it, but it has to do with legacy services. When you are a service provider, there's stuff that you started doing for customers a long time ago, and you're hesitant to give that stuff up and tell them they can't have it anymore, that they have to buy the new and improved service. And when you're in a product business, that makes a lot of sense. Like when you have to buy replacement parts for a product that you purchased 5 or 6 or 10 or 15 years ago, the companies that sold you that product, they can't just, it's bad for them to say, well, you just can't buy it, you got to buy a new one, right? So I get that there's a difference between products, but with services, you should not hesitate to cut out legacy services and force people to buy the new and improved version. In a service business, all you have are your processes. Without your processes, without efficient use of your processes, you don't have profitability, you don't have a scalable business. And when you don't eliminate legacy services, if you find a better way to do something, if you find a better way to serve customers, a more profitable way, or one that gives them more bang for the buck, that's what you should move people to. If you keep the old way around, you're catering to people who don't want to change for change's sake. They don't like change, period. Don't give me change. Even though you've got a new and improved thing, even though it's better for them, even though it beats the pants off the old way, they just don't want to change. And when you continue to let them be customers and you continue to let them do business with you in the old way, you're stripping out all of the efficiency you're trying to build into your business. You're stripping out all of the scalability, and eventually you're stripping out all the profitability because you don't have a great scalable process. You've got this hodgepodge of old and new stuff that you let people buy from you, even though, and this is the most important part, it's not in their best interest to do so. It's the reason that you develop these new services, because you believe they were better for the customers, but you're allowing customers to do things that you don't think are good for them. So it almost comes down to an integrity thing. You need to be relentless in getting rid of old services and not giving customers the option to continue doing business with you the old way just because they don't like change. It's going to kill your service business. It's going to impede your growth. And ultimately, if you really believe what you're saying, you're not being true to your word. You're not giving your customers the greatest experience you could. See you guys tomorrow. Annalise, where are you going?